Alright, hey everybody. So in this video what I wanted to do is it's really important to come out and mend your beds. For me, what I want to do today is take care of both sides of my garden, which I have flower beds in. No vegetables, just flower beds. But over the summer and spring and summer, I planted lantanas to bring in the bees and all the pollinators, and good Lord did it work. And they went nuts over there. The beds are just overrun. I've got climbing roses that need to be taken care of and trained and clipped up. So that's what this video is going to be. It's not really going to be a lot about the garden itself, but what needs to happen while you're letting things grow. One thing I have learned from all this over the year is that gardening never ends. You are constantly doing something in the garden. Pulling weeds, mulching, fertilizing, composting, planting, harvesting. There's always something to do out here. And right now, it's kind of boring in the garden. Things are growing kind of slowish, which is fine. It's summer, it's winter, and it's, I guess, going to happen. I don't know. It's my first winter crop, so I'm going to go ahead and knock out these beds on the sides. I'm going to prune everything that needs to be pruned. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the roses that need to be taken care of, trained up. I'm not sure about pruning the roses. I don't know how to do that. I haven't learned, and honestly I haven't researched it, so that's on me. I am trying this technique that my daughter mentioned. I should not always be so static, which is cool. I just don't have a selfie stick. I'm going to fertilize the ground, add new soil to the ground, and then I'm bringing in a new plant that I've had for a good 5 years. I had it at my last job. I planted it there, and now that I'm not there anymore, I went and got it, brought it back. Now I've got it going. I'm going to get it planted. So that's what this video is going to be about. Let's do it. As part of taking care of this garden and tightening it up, I brought in a new hydrangea that I've been growing for about 5 years now. I'm just transplanting it back here to my house, to the garden. I apologize about the wind. And then I've taken out all of this extra shrubbery that doesn't need to be there, thin this out. I've still got to get back in here, thin all this out. And then these roses right here, they're climbing roses, and they need to get tightened up. As you can see, we've got a bunch of little runners everywhere, all through here, that need to get tightened up. And I'm going to use tomato clips. These things are awesome. Use them for anything. Anything you need to clip. Real easy, clip it, done. So that's what I'm going to do to tighten these up. I don't want to cut them, so I'm not going to cut the roses. I'm just going to pin them up against their main branch, which is right here, and then I've got another of the same kind right back over there. So that's what I'm about to do. All right, back in here, I'm not going to cut it up too much. I just want to be able to get back in here. Now this climbing bush, this climbing rose needs to get pinned up. Now I need to bring soil in to amend the bottom. You always want to try to amend your soil around the base of your plants, especially roses, at least twice a year. That's what I do, and my roses are great. I don't know what others do, but that's what I'm doing. Twice a year. All right, so when you're amending your rose soil, or any kind of soil really, you want to use the soil that's made specifically for that plant. Makes sense, right? So for the roses, I always use a rose mix. Now I've been using this rose mix for 5 years, 4 years, 5, somewhere in there, and it's really good. You can get this anywhere, but I would say get your own rose mix. Whatever. Twice a year though, add fresh soil to the bottom, to the base of the plant, and just watch it grow. Watch it grow. All right, so that's all I'm going to do over here in this side. I wanted to thin out a little bit back here. I'm pretty much going to let the lantana just go. Good soil now down at the base. And as it rains and as the irrigation goes, all that soil will settle down around that root base. I did the same right here on this root base of this rose bush also. And I did want to say one thing. You don't have to necessarily put the soil at the base of a plant. Remember, these plants, especially ones that are like this, that are established, they've got roots going everywhere. So as long as you just get the good soil down around it in the vicinity of the base of the plant, you're good to go. It doesn't have to be right at the bottom, but because I was able to get in there and not get destroyed by the thorns, I just went ahead and put them there. The hydrangea here, the last thing I'm going to do is, you can see these bare roots. Earlier in the video, you might have seen me using my hands to move all the dirt away. That's because we got these boxes here, and I'm definitely not digging in this area. So I use my hands just to move the dirt. And then I'm going to use a specific soil for this plant. Rose soil is higher in acid. I don't need that for the hydrangea. So I'm going to use just a general potting mix that's designed for a raised bed, not for pots. Big difference there. Material's different. And so you always want to use the right one. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to fill this in. Good new soil all around it. Bury these roots. Because, oh, look at that. Pollinators, they're everywhere. I will say the pollinators love this pineapple sage bush. It's like amazing. Brings in everything. I mean, look at that. We got little honeybees right there, bumblebees. Where'd he go? We got a little honeybee right there. That big old joker. More of them. They're just everywhere. So I'm trying not to get stung right now. But that's what I'm going to do there. And then you can see where I'm putting it. So that hydrangea is going to stay there. And this is going to basically become the edge of my garden from here on out. Because as you can see, we've got the cabbages going that way. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. And that's it. Nice good soil packed in around that. This lantana now has good soil on it, so you'll see how much that thing grows next year. My Texas sage, I put some good soil around its base. The citrus tree here is doing good. That's a Mexican key lime thornless, or a thornless Mexican key lime right there. I gotta fill back up the bumblebee water there and probably wash those rocks pretty good for them. And yeah, so this side is done. I'm going to go ahead and leave this pineapple sage in until probably January. And I'm going to yank it out and plant a new one. Or I might just leave it. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided. Because it does kind of take up the front, but it brings in a lot of pollinators. So I'm not sure. Leave a comment below. Let me know what y'all think I should do with it. Should I leave it? Or take the whole thing out and start all over in spring? We'll let the fans decide. All right, now let's go to the other side. Okay, over on this side, you can see here's the garlic bed right here. But then I've got this monster area here that's just gone crazy. And this rose bush, I don't know if you really call it a rose bush. This thing is super long, really thick stem. I'm actually not sure what to do with this. I don't know if I should prune this big old long piece down at the base, make the plant regrow, or if I should try using this, which, I mean, it's just kind of laughing at it. I'm really not sure what to do. So if anyone has any experience with rose bushes like this, I have not researched it, not yet anyway. Thought I'd see if anyone could comment, give me some ideas on what to do. But this thing is huge. It's a good 6 foot or more, and I really don't know what to do with it. So my goal for over here I don't really want to mess up the spider web too much. You see that spider right there? But there's a rose bush in here, right here. You can see down there at the bottom somewhere. I want to dig all this out and get some good soil down into that area. So that's the goal right here. So I want to end this video here instead of sitting over there where I usually end the videos and begin the videos. But this plant blossoms twice a year. I don't know what kind of vine this is. I honestly can't remember, but the flowers are starting to come in. In about a week, this entire plant here will be covered in yellow flowers. And you can see how far down it goes. It's all the way over here. I put in these trellises and man, this vine is just doing so good. But hey, why am I showing this? Because every year, twice a year, I put new soil at the bottom of this plant in this flower bed. Constantly amending. Now I don't till the soil, but I'm constantly amending new soil on top, compost, new soil, and I've done that twice a year, every year since I planted this vine. And you can see how good it's doing. So what am I getting at? The importance of the off season of planting, or the in between of planting, I found to be incredibly important. Probably equally as important as to everything else you do to get your vegetables to grow. You have to constantly amend everything that you have going. So this channel is not just for vegetables, even though that is my primary focus. At the very beginning of this, I did say backyard living. That's the goal here. Document everything I do in this little suburban backyard, because it's tiny. It is not big at all. But there's a lot of room if you have a good imagination and you want to get out here and work hard. So all my videos won't always be geared toward vegetables, because there's more to a backyard than just vegetables. I have a lot of flowers, and then I got a front yard too that I've neglected this year. So again, it's very important to do the little things, the mundane, the tedious things that you might not want to do, but you got to do. Very important to your success growing. So as always, everyone, if you enjoyed this video, please share it. If it's educational in any way, please share it. If you like the video, hit that little like button. Subscribe to my channel. It's growing. I'm enjoying this. And as always, shine bright and harvest hard. Bye. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me figure out how I want to end this video.